Smart automation, better business. Learn how to optimize your business with Solved.
If your sales team complains that Salesforce CPQ takes forever to recalculate a quote, or if you constantly have to fix broken pricing calculation errors before a deal can close, I have bad news. You might not have a Salesforce problem, you could have an architectural debt problem. When companies scale their pricing models, the knee-jerk reaction is always, just build another price rule. But over-relying on standard price rules is the fastest way to turn a multi-million-dollar Salesforce CPQ implementation into a sluggish, unmaintainable nightmare. Today, we're breaking down the 3 massive pricing automation pitfalls in Salesforce CPQ that destroy system performance, and exactly how you should architect your pricing instead. A quick note up front, Salesforce CPQ is end of sale to new customers as Salesforce shifts to focus on Revenue Cloud Advanced. But for the thousands of org already running CPQ today, every one of these pitfalls could be costing you deals. Let's start with pitfall number 1, the too many price rules trap. Every active price rule in your system takes a toll on the CPQ calculation engine. If you have 50 different price rules just to evaluate regional discounts or customer tiers, your quote line editor is going to crawl. Every time a rep edits a line, CPQ has to run through all the active rules before the screen updates. And the more rules, the longer that takes. Instead of building 50 individual rules, elite architects use lookup queries against a custom lookup object. That sounds technical, but the idea is simple. Build one Salesforce table that holds your pricing matrix, a row for every region, tier, or segment, and then build one price rule that looks up the right row when a quote is calculated. The lookup queries are just the filters that grab the rule which row, or that tell the rule which row to grab. You replace dozens of rules with one. It's cleaner, it scales nicely, and your quote line loads much faster. And while you're consolidating, check when each remaining rule fires. Every price rule has a setting that controls this, and a surprising number of slow CPQ orgs have rules set to fire on every line edit when they really only need to run once, like when the quote first loads. Fewer rules plus the right timing is what unlocks the real speed boost. Pitfall number 2 is a silent killer. Hard coding record IDs into your CPQ automation. We see this all the time. An admin builds a price rule or a product rule in a sandbox, and they hard code a specific product ID or record type ID directly into the rules criteria. It works perfectly in testing. Then they deploy to production, and the whole thing breaks. Here's the nuance most admins miss. Not every sandbox behaves the same way. Some sandboxes that get refreshed from a copy of production actually keep the same record IDs as production, so your rule looks fine for a while. But other sandboxes have completely different IDs, and the moment you build there and promote, your IDs don't match anything. Even when IDs happen to match today, hard coding them creates a ticking time bomb. Recreate a product, restore from backup, or migrate orgs, and every hard-coded ID has to be hunted down and fixed manually. The fix? Use developer names, API names, or stable text fields like product code or an external ID for your criteria. CPQ calculation logic should rely on metadata characteristics, never on a static 18-character Salesforce ID string. Finally, pitfall number 3, over-customizing standard revenue mechanics. CPQ doesn't just slap one price on a product. It walks every quote line through a multi-step price waterfall. And most people only know a few of those steps. The full sequence includes list price, special price, regular price, customer price, partner price, distributor price, and net price. Think of it like a receipt with 7 lines of math. You start with the sticker price, that's your list price. Then CPQ will check if any special pricing has been set up, things like bulk pricing or a negotiated contract, which gives you your special price. Next comes volume discounts. Maybe they buy more, pay less per unit, that's your regular price. Then the rep can add any one-off discounts that they negotiated with their specific customer, giving you customer price. Partner and distributor discounts get applied in the next 2 steps, and then what comes out of the bottom is your net price. That's the per unit number your customer actually pays. You have a lot of room to customize within this waterfall. That's the whole point of price rules. The problem isn't customization. It's customization that bypasses the waterfall entirely. Customers or companies create their own custom price rules with names like My Custom Price and try to force CPQ to calculate things out of order using Flow or Apex. When you fight the waterfall, the system fights back. You end up with weird rounding errors, split pennies, broken renewals, because by default, the renewal engine only knows about the standard CPQ fields, not all the custom ones you're adding on. There's a built-in way to make custom fields follow a deal through a renewal called a twin field, but it has to be set up deliberately, and most teams that bypass the waterfall never bother. So the renewal recalculates from standard fields and quotes a number that doesn't match the original deal. Fixing these 3 mistakes alone can shave seconds off your quote loading times and save your sales operations team hundreds of hours of troubleshooting. At Solved, we can help you figure out the best price to start. If you found this helpful, like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. We can't wait to help you automate your business.
Thank you so much for watching. We can't wait to help you automate your business. Please like, comment, or subscribe for more.